Let's delve into another crucial concept in storytelling. It's a term you're likely familiar with, the word plot. Understanding it is key to any narrative. It is also used very frequently to discuss specific stories, to suggest them or not, and to describe their nature. Often the term plot is employed to indicate what a story entails. In essence, it describes the core of what the narrative is about. This term originates from the textile industry, specifically from the world of textiles. Initially, the term plot refers to the threads that intersect to create a fabric. These threads are joined and linked, forming the basis of a story's structure and essence. Creating the surface of fabric. A story can be likened to a thread, weaving through the narrative, forming the essence and structure of the plot. A thread in which various events unfold at different stages from the initial proposal to its conclusion. Yet the impacts a story can generate are significant, weaving through the narrative to form the plot's essence and structure, much like threads in a fabric that it can exert on us, are far more intricate and multifaceted. It encompasses much more than just a chronological sequence of events. There exist connections between occurrences that transcend simple temporal relationships. Even if they are not with you, events unfold one after another. Yet story events connect in intriguing, complex ways beyond mere sequence, forming a richer narrative fabric. We can say that they intertwine, that they interweave. In fact, they work or can work as the threads of a fabric, forming a complex tapestry, and that's where you can use this word when we talk about the matter of writing stories. A plot is an effect that causes a chain reaction of events, weaving together various elements into a cohesive narrative. A story emerges. Even when parts aren't contiguous, they relate to each other. We can discover these connections and from that create a cohesive narrative, weaving disparate elements into a unified whole. To find other meanings, other things that the story is telling us. We have already introduced several modifications beyond the basic walking exercise, and now we will explore further alterations along with practicing fundamental narrative techniques through these changes. Let's revisit the original starting point for this exploration. To the concept in my exercise, in yours, that we departed from where we were, that I left home. What would occur if suddenly, without warning, we found ourselves? When discussing such departures, it's essential to mention a future event, specifically something happening considerably later rather than right away. An illustration of this would be referencing actions or occurrences far down the line. In this version I have written, one morning I left home for a walk, and then the return would take me to a few places in my neighborhood and to a meeting I did not expect. This refers to events occurring not immediately after leaving. It suggests a delay between departure and subsequent events. When discussing an event that hasn't yet been narrated, it creates a sense of expectation in the reader. There's a certain anticipation that builds up as the story hints at something yet to unfold. This anticipation keeps the reader engaged, wondering about the details and outcomes of the events still to be revealed. To discover what will occur and understand how the events I am predicting will unfold is exactly what creates anticipation. This plot effect is known for its ability to engage readers by building suspense and curiosity about future developments in the story. The text you see here is similar to the basic exercise from the previous lesson subjects, offering a comparable learning experience. Consider, for instance, how can I incorporate something like this effectively? I couldn't foresee it. My thoughts were limited to the present. Additionally, it serves to build anticipation and suggest what might come next, engaging curiosity. That there is something important that has not yet happened in the world of history at this moment in which we are reading. Similarly, a phrase or two like this can build anticipation and engage curiosity effectively. Why that way? I don't know. Suggests, in a sense, a kind of detachment from the narrator, as if he is recalling a sequence of events about which he hasn't fully informed us. This creates a sense of mystery and intrigue, leaving us eager to learn more. What is the significant event introduced here, and what implications does it hold? Is pointing with all these anticipatory references towards a significant meeting with someone in this version, which then made me see Sandra more clearly. These subsequent elements build up to what comes later, that I'm emphasizing now, refer to the same event. The tale of an ordinary walk transforms into the story of an unexpected meeting with someone from the character's past, adding layers of depth and intrigue to the narrative, drawing us further in. Someone with whom there was a relationship that ended very poorly, and it is also an unexpected encounter. The character went out without any major concerns to stroll around his neighborhood and suddenly bumped into someone he never anticipated seeing again, someone from his past. This chance meeting adds depth and intrigue to the story. At this moment, the story reveals what was anticipated, adding depth and intrigue to the narrative. From here, this encounter may continue, potentially revealing more and telling us more. We were already primed to view this as important and significant thanks to the anticipation built in the earlier paragraphs. Now let's explore a different approach, another plot twist, again rooted in the fundamental exercise. This shift in narrative direction offers a fresh perspective, enhancing the storyline's depth and intrigue. Recall the moment we added a fictional twist by saying, "I went to the store to buy a cookie." Imagine we maintain that scenario, keeping the narrative consistent and intriguing as it was initially introduced to captivate the audience. Suppose that at a certain point, after everything else has been shared, we find ourselves at a new juncture. I go home, and upon entering the apartment, I suddenly realize something. There was a large unopened box of cookies on the table that I had purchased earlier and completely forgotten about, and which I hadn't thought about again during my walk. Even if I don't bring up the cookies I bought outside again, one might assume I succumbed to my craving, forgetting the ones already at home. Without considering what was in my pantry, I indulged in buying more. I decided to buy myself a little more food. The link formed between buying cookies at one time and finding other cookies much later, despite no direct connection, is intriguing. Even if I don't mention the cookies I purchased again, one might think I gave in to my craving, overlooking the ones at home and indulging in more. Is